This video isn't for streamers looking to have the best of the best. I'm not going to give you advice on how to have amazing production value from the get-go. Instead, I'm going to tell you to start with crap and how to work your way up and figure out what your values are for your production. So you might have noticed I don't have amazing lighting. It's pot lights and a lamp and then lights over there. It's my living room lighting. And I don't have the best audio. I'm using the microphone in my camera. I don't have a mic sitting here. I don't have a pop filter. I don't have anything fancy. But I stream and I record videos anyway. I do it because I want to, and I'm learning what I need to move up in my values for what my production quality is. So personally, I like to start from scratch and figure it out, because you could spend hundreds of dollars on a really great camera and a really good microphone and then figure out that's not actually what I want. So maybe instead start with the lower quality stuff. I mean, don't like literally start with the crappiest camera from 2001 and you're welcome to go ahead and get like a nice little snowball microphone to set here in front of you instead of using your headphone mic, because that can have like that weird hollow quality that sounds like you're at a McDonald's drive-thru and nobody wants to talk to the drive-thru person while they're on stream. But can I get a bag of fries? I really love some fries. So my lights are actually dimmable since they're my living room lights, and I'm going to show you what the difference is. This is full power light. I'm washed out. I am white. And I can play with the camera adjustments all I want, but I'm washed out. It looks awful. This is without the lights directly above my desk. It's too dark. My lamp, I would have to do that. And then there's like this weird spotlight on me, right? So I turn that down. It's got a shade. And then I've got lights over there. And like you can tell there are lights over there. You can see my cat in the background, but you can't really see me. So for my best lighting, I set my switch at about 2/3. And obviously whatever you're doing is going to be different than my setup completely. But for me, I dim my lights to about where it's like 2/3 bright. And that gets me the best lighting I'm going to get sitting here in my living room, short of borrowing my husband's ring light or something. So like I'm using an extra camera my husband has, and he would totally be using it for cat cam if I weren't needing it. So eventually when I upgrade, he gets his cat cam back, but cat cam's not priority, so he didn't mind me borrowing it. But we don't just have a spare microphone laying around, which is why I use the mic in the camera. His spare mic is his headphone mic, no thanks. So a good setup does not have to cost hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, unless you really want it to. If you've got the money available to start at that high level, sure. There are some great other resources you could go check out. I don't have thousands of dollars just lying around, so that's why I use what I have. And then as I can, I will upgrade. And that's what I really recommend, even if you do have that money laying around. Start small and figure out what you need. So if you are brand new to streaming and you don't even have a mic or a camera to start with, and you obviously want one, the question's going to be, what's your priority? Mic, camera, or you could do like I did where there's a mic in my camera. I mean, because then that way you can hit two birds with one stone, save a little bit of money. I have a Logitech C920. We actually bought this extra one. I believe it was $25 on sale at Best Buy. So just keep an eye out for sales, and you can get some really great equipment for cheap. I mean, hit up Black Friday, check out Memorial Day, Labor Day sales, wait for Prime Day. They've started doing Black Friday in July. If you can, wait for those sales, and you can get good stuff for cheap prices. So as far as lighting goes, it does kind of coincide with your quality of camera, because if you have a bad quality camera, no good lighting is going to look good. So you do want to have that good camera, but you can still have just the lighting in a room with a good camera. This is an HD camera, so this is not an HD video because of my lighting, but if I had better lighting, you'd be able to tell it's HD. So what my husband does for lighting, we bought a $20 work light from Walmart and a LED bulb to put in it, and then we covered it with parchment paper as a diffuser, And that, for the longest time, was his main light. He's actually got 2 of those now that he uses to light up his green screen. And then his main light is a ring light that his sister and brother-in-law bought him for Christmas, and it was only $35, so it's not even, the amazing lights that a photographer might recommend, but $35, and he's got some really good video quality, and his camera really looks HD. It is an excellent quality video. So I'm just giving you the bare minimal basics. I'm not getting into specifics beyond microphone and lighting and camera, because that is all you need to start. You just need to be able to turn on a light, turn on a camera, have something with a microphone, and you're good to go. So some of the software you could use beyond equipment, you need streaming software. So I use Streamlabs OBS, Slobs. I love it. I think it's great. I had trouble understanding OBS. It was confusing to me, and I even had to have my husband write down, click these buttons. Slobs for me was very user-friendly to learn and figure out, but then there's other resources like there's XSplit, and Twitch is coming out with their version for new streamers. I would love to play with that one. Oh my goodness, I forget how many different streaming softwares there are, but there are still quite a few out there that are worth using, and there's a lot of premium ones you can pay money for. You don't need to pay money for. Just use the free ones and save your money for the equipment upgrades. So maybe you want to make like a fancy animated intro or an animated break screen or an outro screen or something, and you don't really have the budget for Adobe After Effects, and you don't know how to use After Effects, you don't know how to use Premiere Pro, you don't know how to animate. So I actually use this really great program called DaVinci Resolve. It's free, it's open source. There is a paid version, but the free open source version is fantastic. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but if you're willing to take the time and watch some tutorials, you'll figure it out. So it's got like some default text effects that you can put in. You can set up your titles and write whatever you want, and it has the default animations you can do, and you save it for however long you want your intro to be, whatever you want to do. It's a really cool program that, if you're willing to play around with it, you can come up with some fantastic free graphics for your videos. The only thing that drives me nuts about DaVinci Resolve is when I was trying to figure out how to export for the first time, I could not for the life of me find the export button. I looked and looked and looked. I watched tutorials. Finally, I found the right one where instead of just telling me to export or go whatever screen, they zoomed in and showed me, you click on the rocket ship. Why is the rocket ship the export? How was I supposed to know? But I mean, I digress. It's free, it's great. It just has a big learning curve for somebody who's used to Premiere Pro, so that's where my problem came in. So then, like some other free resources, there's music. I highly recommend using Pretzel Rocks because they've got license-free music that they've worked with people to make sure it's stream safe and you're not going to get muted or a DMCA takedown. They've got like EDM. It's all kind of electronic music, but it's got hype, it's got chill, it's got dance music. It's just like really a lot of fun. There used to be a Twitch library on Spotify for music. I don't know what happened to that because I looked the other day and it's gone. But I'm guessing it has something to do with, Pretzel Rocks coming out. Twitch is like, we don't need to curate that anymore. We don't need to pay for those licenses. It's fine. But with music, it's really advisable not to use copyrighted music because your stream will get muted and you're risking that DMCA takedown. You don't really want to have that strike against you because that looks bad on your record with Twitch because, that's already there. But then, if somebody decides to, they could sue you for using their music without a license. And it's just a lot safer to use free stuff. And there's some other free resources. I can link it in the info below, so check that out. Okay, and then there are bots. Bots are fantastic. So if you're using Slobs and you don't know where else to go, Slobs has a built-in bot. But personally, I recommend the Streamlabs Chatbot because it's got a lot more functionality than the built-in Slobs bot, which I think they just call like Streambot, or I don't know what they just call it. It's the built-in one. But I think Chatbot is fantastic, and that's what I use. For my husband's stream, he uses a combination of Phantombot and Chatbot. We've used Phantombot for years, and I've written some, it's open source, and I've written some code for it for some very specific things that he has happened in his chat. And I think it's fantastic because, you know, you can write the code. I haven't figured out how to do that in Chatbot, but it's potentially possible. I don't know. And then there's like Nightbot, DeepBot, Moobot, something with moo. It's a cow. I don't remember. There's a lot of bots. Just like Google Twitch bots, you'll find a list of them, and people will recommend which ones you should use, which ones you should stay away from. There's free ones, there's paid ones, there's free with paid options, there's open source. There's a lot of options. I should probably make a video based on just Twitch resources. There's a lot of stuff. So like I said, you can do a lot of stuff starting your streams for free. At most, I recommend getting a relatively cheap webcam. The C920 usually at this point I think runs around $65. There's a lot of other options. You can get a good webcam for, you know, $50 to $100, and it's got a built-in mic, so that's one piece of equipment. I really just recommend starting as minimal as you can and figuring out what you want to advance to. You know, don't assume you're going to be wanting this fancy little blue Yeti mic in front of you, and then, you know, in a year you realize that's not the mic I want. Personally, I want a wireless lapel mic so I can just, you know, strap it on me and I can use it in my cooking streams and move around, and I'm not worried about it picking up, you know, all the stuff on my desk making a ton of noise. So hey, if you're looking at brand new starting to streaming, there's a lot of great free or cheap options out there. I'm going to link some stuff in the panels. This is YouTube. This is not Twitch. There are no panels. So I'm going to link some stuff in the description below. Check those out for, you know, my recommendations on some cheap and free options. Just kind of play around. Do a lot of Googling. There's a ton of resources out there. Please, please. You're blocking my view. Hi. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love my little tiger. I love her. I love her so much.